Hello everybody, Minecraft Bedrock Beta and Preview 1.19.70.23 is out right now, and this introduces the sniffer as well as some archaeology features, which is absolutely insane. And today I'm going to be going over every single change in that beta and preview, yeah? And you know, beta and previews, they're always late. You can't always download them on the Microsoft Store as soon as you might like. So I'm going to hopefully make a video testing out those features as soon as possible. But for right now, we're just going to go over them, yeah. Now, once again, just like previous weeks, this week's beta and preview will be delayed for Android, and, that's an issue there the Mojang's hoping to get fixed. So, we actually start off with a pretty big intro. Sniff, sniff, brush, brush. Two sounds that from this day forward will not only be associated with a balanced personal hygiene routine, but also two new features that are coming to Minecraft 1.20. The sniffer and archaeology are two experimental features that you can try out in this week's beta and preview. Yeah. And then there's a bit more ranting, but that's fine, right? Okay, so let's go over what this beta and preview introduces. So for the archaeology feature set, we've got the brush item, we've gotten the decorated pot block, they've added 4 pottery shards, which are the arms, the up, the skull, the prize, arms up, skull, prize, and archer. Those are the 4 pottery shards. Yeah. They've added the suspicious sand block. They've added the suspicious sand to desert temples, which is apparently a thing. And they've also added suspicious sand to the desert wells, yeah? And we also have the brush, of course, yeah? Now, with the pottery shards and decorated blocks. Pottery shards have pictures on them. They cannot be crafted and must be found in the world. Hint, you will need a brush. By crafting 4 of these together, you can create a decorated pot with a picture on each side. And you can also use brick items instead of pottery shards in the crafting recipe. And this will create a blank pot with no pictures on it. Smash a decorated pot with any block breaking tool to break it apart and get the pottery shards back, or hit it with your fist to pick up the pot without breaking it. Yeah, so that's a really interesting mechanic we're gonna get. Anyways, as for suspicious sand, desert temples and desert wells now contain suspicious sand. This fragile block is hard to spot and easy to destroy, so be careful. And if you manage to find a suspicious sand and brush it with your brush, you will extract the objects that were buried a long time ago. And for work in progress, we're giving you an early look at these archaeology features, and Mojang obviously wants to spend a lot more time developing them, yeah? So in this week's beta preview, we're getting all the features, and in the next few, we're probably going to see bug fixes, a whole bunch of them, relating to all these new features we're seeing, yeah? And then, of course, we've gotten the sniffer as well. So the sniffer will now be available as an experimental feature. Yeah, sniffers cannot be tempted or tamed. Yeah, sniffers are passive friendly mobs, and then the sniffer sniffs in the air and will occasionally dig for seeds. And now the torchflower is now available as an experimental feature. The torchflower seed can be planted on farmland and grows into a flower, yeah? And that's probably going to be what the sniffer digs up, right? The seed can be used to breed 2 sniffers together to create a baby sniffer, and the full-grown flower can be harvested and replanted, but also into a dye, yeah? Which means that we'll hope that we might even get a new color dye, or it's going to be just an existing color of dye. I don't know, we'll have to see, right? Let me also just have a few regular bug fixes and features relating to the vanilla game and not the experimental ones. So they've fixed the bug where an allay holding a lead wasn't able to be leashed unless the player held a full stack of 64 leads. They've fixed the bug where hoppers would not pull in items after being unpowered from redstone, and the ghast's sound volume will now fade the further they are from the player, which is something really interesting. That's pretty cool, right? Anyways, The loading screen no longer flickers when entering the Nether in immersive VR mode. They've fixed loaded crossbows staying loaded after shooting, which was a major bug, as in many people were experiencing it. Villagers will now emit anger particles when hit by a player outside of a village. Horses cannot be pushed over fences covered by carpets anymore, and when breeding horses, the baby horse now has a chance of being better than its parents in speed, jump strength, and health. Yeah, which is, of course, useful, right? Otherwise, when you breed horses, you're just only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse progressively. Anyways, they've fixed the bug where moving the player or camera with a controller while text-to-speech for UI was turned on, it would cause the narrator to say X or Y, and they've also fixed the bug where the edit world screen couldn't be opened for a world if the corresponding world directory had a space in it. Yeah, and now that's it. That was all the bug fixes and stuff like that. Now we only have the technical updates, which I'm not going to tell you guys about because most of you aren't interested in them, and I'm not sure what half of them are about. Yeah, if you want to check out those, or if you want to check out the changelog and stuff like that in more detail, then of course feel free to click on the link in the top of the description, as that's where I'm going to put the changelog. But for right now, thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.